The Kansas City Chiefs made a very interesting addition today to bolster up their offensive line depth. We'll discuss what that looks like in 2023 for this O-line and what that tackle position can look like for both the left tackle and right tackle position for next year. But before we do get in all of that, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, as I'm going to keep you up to date on anything Kansas City Chief related that you do not want to miss out on. And without further ado, let's have some fun. Now, I do want to say before we do kick this video underway is that I have been getting a video ready for the undrafted free agents since the draft has ended, but the Kansas City Chiefs love to give me news since the draft has been over, so I'm going to keep reporting on it, and I'm hoping I get this undrafted free agent video out there because there are a lot of undrafted free agents that are very intriguing, very interesting, and have a real possibility on making this roster next year. But today, we got news, and we got big news at a position that we didn't know the Kansas City Chiefs may bolster, and it's that they signed left tackle Donovan Smith to a one-year deal worth up to $9 million. All in all, it just like you got to take that in and grasp it all because initially it was a shock to me. Now, if you would have asked me in early March when we weren't going to franchise tag Orlando Brown Jr. that Donovan Smith may come in, I would have been all for it and I would have understood like it'd be a one-year plug-in feel and you either try to draft your next man up or you just push forward and see what he can provide to the team. Now that we're into May and that draft is over and Donovan Smith is on the team and also we signed Jawaan Taylor, it's a very interesting pickup. Now, everything is on the board, it seems like, and definitely when you go through social media. So let's focus on what my first initial thought was. And it was, damn, Donovan Smith, you see the money. And when you see the money right away, worth up to $9 million, that sounds like he's going to be a starter. So that sounds like I'm going to plug him into the right tackle position and you keep Jawaan Taylor on the left tackle and you just go forward with that interior and you have a line set ready to go. Now, they did draft Wanye Morris and they have Lucas Niang. And as we focus on this right tackle position, it can still happen, but I think the odd man out is Lucas Niang. And I think that says a lot about Lucas Niang and how the coaching staff views him, whether Donovan Smith plays right tackle or left tackle, which we will discuss because throughout all of Lucas Niang's career, there has always been potential, but injury has been one of the biggest concerns for him that throughout his career, he hasn't been able to be on the field. And now it's seeming like it's getting pretty close that the Kansas City Chiefs are about to cut ties. And with the depth on this roster, he might not make this 2023 team, which is a big turn of events because we're all thinking he's going to compete with Wanye Morris, and now a lot of us are projecting Morris will win that job. But now you bring Donovan Smith in, you basically give the rookie and Wanye Morris some time to learn because he has those raw athleticism skills, but the tools aren't all there. You give him a year to grasp that playbook, and then moving forward, you might have your right tackle for the future. You wouldn't do that for Lucas Niang. He knows the playbook. It's just, can he be on the field? Which makes him seem like he's the odd man out. And we haven't even thrown into plans Darian Kennard in this situation either. So it's like, okay, you got a lot of bodies there. And the reason I don't think Darian Kennard could be the odd man out is because he has the possibility to switch to guard. And that's actually what he's played in college too, is guard and tackle. So there's still room for him to grow there, and it gives him basically like a swing tackle type of vibe where he could still be on this team. As for Lucas Niang, he's focused on right tackle. And if you have Donovan Smith in there, you drafted Wanye Morris, it seems very, very iffy for Lucas Niang. And the only way he's going to be on this team is one, you stay healthy, and two, you have the best camp you have ever had in your life. And if you don't, you're going to be playing somewhere else. And with the depth on this O-line, it's going to be hard to make. And then reports came out from Tom Pelissero and then some other Chiefs accounts. I think Nate Taylor said it as well, that they do plan on having Donovan Smith be the starter and he may be the left tackle. And you're like, whoa, okay. That's very, very interesting and intriguing now because we brought Jawaan Taylor in, $80 million. We thought initially that was going to be the richest paid right tackle, and then we're like, okay, it's left tackle. It makes much more sense. Now you're going to be putting him back to right tackle. Assuming, of course. We don't know how this is all going to pan out until June, July, August, and the season is underway. It's all going to be a competition. But let's view it in that aspect as well. And it might make a little more sense. Maybe not from a money aspect that it would, but positional-wise, it would. Donovan Smith has started 124 games in his career, and they have all been at the left tackle position. Jawaan Taylor, all but 5 games in his career, he has started at the right tackle position. So those are their true positions they play. So it would be kind of odd and kind of weird to have basically 2 players vice versa on your O-line and when they excel at one position. Now, a lot of people will say, does Donovan Smith really excel at the left tackle position though? And let's comment on that, because in 2022, we're not going to ignore it. It was a very rough year. Also, injury plagued as well. He played the whole year throughout with injuries. Also, the Bucks weren't the same team as well. So I'm intrigued to see what Donovan Smith can be like, because if you rewind the tape into 2021, he was one of the best tackles in the league, and he had a PFF grading over 80, and he was one of the best pass blocking tackles too. So if you give him a whole training camp and a whole offseason and he is healthy, what Donovan Smith are you going to get? It's very interesting. I'm not just going to say he's garbage off of one last year, because he put up 2 to 3 years where he was pretty close to very good to elite in my eyes, definitely in pass blocking. Run blocking, that's a little different scenario, but that's why you got the boys in Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Joe Tooney to do their thing. But if you can have someone bolster down that blind side of Patrick Mahomes, whether it be a Donovan Smith, whether it be a Jawaan Taylor, they're both going to be some growing pains there. And also, Jawaan Taylor, if you have to put him back at his true right tackle position where he excels, then you already know you have the right tackle position solidified. It brings more questions and raises eyebrows, because you're like, well, didn't we bring him for a left tackle position? And wouldn't Donovan Smith just be filling a void for 1 year? And what, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to move Jawaan Taylor back the next year? All valid questions. All questions I do not have answers to, because we don't know what 2024 can present, because we haven't even gone through 2023. So it could be as easy as, hey, move him back, but that definitely halters the process of trying to switch him to left tackle. Or it could be easy as, maybe the market is better for left tackle next year. Maybe the draft next year is better for left tackle, where the Kansas City Chiefs can trade up and actually get their guy. Who knows? We can't look too far ahead. We got to look into right now. And if Donovan Smith is the left tackle and it's what is best for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Jawaan Taylor is the right tackle, and that's their line, then I would be fine with it. We just have to see how it rolls out through training camp and through the season. But lastly, another breakdown of how the offensive line can go is, you have Jawaan Taylor stay at the left tackle position, and then you have a veteran left tackle backup in Donovan Smith too, to basically give techniques to Jawaan Taylor, show him how to block a blindside, because it's not something he's very familiar with. And then you still have the battle at the right tackle position with Wanye Morris and Lucas Niang, and you have them battle it out for the right tackle position and see how it goes. That's also a really good scenario as well. And if they both happen to struggle, at least you got a veteran left tackle where he could switch to right tackle, which supposedly is the easier part of the O-line, more easier to block than the left tackle. I'm not an NFL player. I'm not sliding anyone's job, so I'm not going to say anything's easy, but you go off what reports are, and that's all I'm saying. So please don't come after me at all that either. But it seems like if Donovan Smith has played, 9 years at left tackle, that he can transition well, that would be a solid as well. But that could be another scenario, is where he's a veteran left tackle and Jawaan Taylor is picking his head, and then you have these 2 young guys fighting it out. But at the end of the day, to go through this offensive line, I think it's still a very, very positive scenario. What Brett Veach is doing here, he still has the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in his mind, where he does not ever want Patrick Mahomes to get hit. And shoot, you don't even have to look at that Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, throughout the end of the year and into the playoffs, he has gotten hurt. So if you're going to bolster up any position, you might as well bolster the one that is supposed to be protecting the franchise QB. So I'm not mad at it whatsoever. It's just very intriguing. And then the next domino to fall, which is something we'll probably get tomorrow, is Donovan Smith's contract details. I said it was worth up to $9 million, but what is that guaranteed money? What is that baseline value? It's going to be very, very interesting because I don't think it's going to be 3/4 less than what the $9 million is, because people are saying it could be 1 year, $2 million worth up to $9 million. That's lovely. That would be great. But also that seems very unrealistic. I can see it being 1 year, $4 to $5 million, and it can be worth up to $9 million. And if that's the case, he's making more than Lucas Niang and Wanya Morris. So with that type of money and with everyone putting that in aspect, that's either your starting right tackle or your starting left tackle. It's just how the training camp goes and who wins battles and what fits a need best. I will say, this is very interesting. It's a very, very, very interesting scenario, but it's a scenario I welcome because I'd rather have too many O-linemen than none at all. But with that, Chiefs Kingdom, you let me know how you feel about the signing of Donovan Smith. What will he be? A right tackle, left tackle, a veteran lineman to help bolster up this team just in case anything happens. With that, I'm going to be closing out this video. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you did like this video, please leave that big thumbs up. Y'all take care. Peace.